Hello, welcome to today's The Word in a Flash. I'm Dr. Freddie B. Wilson. You know, there's an expression we use, at least down south I know, that when someone says something to you during a conversation that's hard for you to believe what they're saying, you'll say what? So that's my subject for today. Say what? I know you've heard, as I've heard throughout the years, ministers say the power of life and death is in the power of the tongue. That's what I'm going to talk to you about today, about the things you say as you are experiencing life. You need to really watch what you say about your circumstances. This subject came to me today as I was having a conversation with someone, and they were being frustrated with what they were experiencing in life. And they actually said, I don't think things are ever going to change. Say what? Whether that person realized it or not, they just pretty much predicted their own circumstances. When you say out of your own mouth that you don't think things will ever change, you're pretty much making your circumstance stay the way it is, simply because that's what you spoke into it. I really encourage people when they're dealing with their situations to speak life into their situation, not death, by saying it would never change. I'm not indicating just positive talk would change everything in your life. I'm just saying you pretty much predetermine how it's going to be based on your own saying of what you said about your circumstance. So you have to be real careful about what you say about the people in your lives, about your circumstances, and about anything that you're dealing with in general. It's okay to talk to your friend about what you're dealing with. I think that's a good thing to have someone to talk to. Talking to the Lord is always the best, but having someone to talk to is fine. But in those conversations, it's okay to talk about exactly what you're experiencing, but don't ever say what you think is going to be the outcome based on your own negativity by saying, I don't think he or she will ever change. You're making things worse. When you're talking about your job, you may say, I don't think those people will ever treat me better than what they're doing now. You're pretty much making it that way for yourself. When you're thinking about that circumstance and you're dealing with it, you said, I don't think it'll ever change. You're talking about your car. I don't think I'll ever be able to drive a nice car. You are talking bad things into existence on your own. When you say negative thing about your own existence, you're pretty much creating your own world. And what you don't realize, that negativity will shine onto other people, whether you realize you're doing it or not. When you're going on that job interview and you already got a negative attitude of being able to work with other people, that interviewer is going to see that negative attitude inside you, whether you think you had it well hidden or not. So that's why you need to learn to speak life into your circumstances, and it will bring about a change in you. Some people will be able to see that even. When struggling to pay bills or just get day-to-day things paid for that you need, I heard people say, I never get out of debt. Say what? Learn to speak positive attitudes into your circumstances. I can recall back some time ago when I was deep in debt with this creditor, and I may have mentioned this before in the past, but I talked to one of the ladies on the phone, and I told her, one of these days I'm going to pay you guys off. She laughed and didn't believe me. She just didn't make sure you make your payment. I would love to have seen the look on her face when I did eventually. God blessed me to pay them off. On the other side of this thing, I thought about something when I was talking to that creditor. Do you realize that that person that you're talking to about your bills, the person I talked to about the bill, probably couldn't even afford to pay that bill themselves if they had to? It's just a part of their job to harass people about paying, and they don't even realize that they probably would be in the same predicament. But that's their job. So get over that. Don't let it get to you. Let God show you how to get past that circumstance, and you know that God can bless you, or you should know that God can bless you in any circumstances, no matter how bad it looks. But you need to speak positively on that thing and pray that God show you and bless you out of it. Also, don't let your circumstances determine the words that come out of your mouth. The words that come out of your mouth should be positive and uplifting. Another example I can give of that is that when my wife and I tried to qualify for our second home here in Florida, circumstances would tell me that I couldn't do it. But I said, Lord, I'm going to pray to you that you show me how to do this thing, because you knew what my heart wanted to do. And I put it all in God's hand, and I prayed about it. And I told someone, regardless of my credit score, we're going to do this thing. And by golly, God blessed us to do that. This wasn't just by some wishful thinking. This was being positive that God could do something good for us, and speaking life into this thing. And God showed up, and he showed out. Some of you who see how we're living may say, it's easy for you to say. What some of you may not realize is where we've been to get to where we are today. My wife and I have seen some destitute moments in our life that we wonder how in the world we're going to get through those things. But we spoke life into them and said, I know God's going to bless us to get past these points. I know he's going to deliver us. You have to speak life into those circumstances, not negativity and doubt. Proverbs 11:9 says, with their words, the godless destroy their friends, but knowledge will rescue the righteous. I heard someone who's just getting ready to go to court, deal with a situation they were dealing with. And I heard them say, the legal system would never give me a break. Say what? I can recall a time in my past where I spoke negativity into my own existence. I was working on my master's degree, and one of the last classes, or the last class I had to take, was in statistics. And I'm telling you people, statistics was kicking my behind. And I said, I don't think I ever understand statistics. Say what? Yes, I spoke those words into my life at that time. And I tell you, it took my wife to explain to me she working with Fast Foods, and I was trying to tell her what I was doing. And she said something to me that made something click inside of me. Then I was able to figure out what was going on and why I didn't understand what was going on with the class. And once I did that, I managed to get a B out of that course. You need to speak life into your situation. Start making people's response say what after what you said positive in your life. An example I can give is that they're building these very nice high tower condominiums off of Bayshore, which is a scenic area here in Tampa. And I told a friend of mine when these things were just going up that one day I'm going to buy me one of those townhouses. Say what? Yes, I said it. I may not buy one of those condos, I don't know, but I know one day I'll be able to afford one of those. It may seem impossible, but I'm speaking positive things into my life. You should do the same. Another positive example I can give you is some time ago, my son was telling me about real life situation where his job was really stressing him out. He was going through some things that's something that should be done by people more senior than he. And he was just a junior engineer. But I told him very prophetically, son, God is preparing you for something greater. Say what? Exactly. God has prepared him for something better. And today, he's getting ready to start on a new job with at least a 28% pay increase, where normally he probably wouldn't even been qualified for. But positive words have made a big difference. I can provide many other examples where just a positive word has made a big difference. I can talk about my daughters, two of my different daughters, different educational experiences where based on the system, it would have stopped them from doing what they were trying to do. But I was positive about it. No matter what those people had said that was going to do, I said, no, we can't allow this to happen. And many times over, God has stepped in and made it possible. And that's mainly by faith and having a positive word instead of listening up to the negative word that those people give each time. So you really need to watch what you say about your family, your loved ones, co-workers, or anyone in general, because Matthew 12:36 says, and I tell you this, you must give an account on Judgment Day for every idle word you speak. So speak well of your circumstances and well of other people, and have the hope that God can bless you beyond that thing that you're dealing with. When it's all said and done, I'm asking you to speak life into your circumstances. Don't always be negative about things that's happened to you in the past. I just want to encourage you to speak life into your circumstances. You may have to get to do some praying, some fasting, some tithing, but when it all comes down to it, you can do it. Say what?